going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad, and holy crap on a cracker, we have our first official update on the upcoming Halloween TV series from Miramax. Back in October of last year, we learned that after scoring the television rights to The Shape in an intense bidding war, Miramax was intending on launching a Halloween TV series. Now, obviously, this raised many questions from within the horror community. Would this be a Loomis series? Is this going to tackle the events of the first film? When is this going to take place? Who is this going to center around? This has never been done before. So what exactly would a Halloween television series even look like? Well, in an article posted to Deadline today, March 8th, 2024, Miramax head of global television Marc Helwig shared some pretty interesting tidbits on a slew of Miramax's upcoming TV series, and of course, the untitled Halloween series is a big part of that release slate. In discussing the fact that the hit Netflix series The Gentleman could spawn its own universe, which is also headed up by Miramax, it was implied that the same type of treatment could be given to Halloween as well. The article goes on to say, Halloween TV series, a creative reset. Miramax Television in October signed a deal with Trancas to develop and co-produce a Halloween TV series, which is envisioned to potentially launch a cinematic universe spanning film and television. Miramax and Blumhouse collaborated with Trancas on the successful recent Halloween movie trilogy. We're on a fast track. It's a big priority for us. We've had lots of exciting conversations in recent months with a number of really talented people, and I think we'll have a pretty good idea of what we're going to be doing very soon, Helwig said, adding, we're hoping to lock down the creative team very soon. While the search for a writer is still ongoing, the idea for the TV series already has been identified. It's a big world, Helwig said, of the 13-movie franchise, the most recent trilogy culminating with Halloween Ends providing a fitting conclusion to the story. So I don't think that is an opportunity to go off the back of that. So the series is going back to the Halloween franchise's origins. The foundation of it is the original film, the John Carpenter movie, the characters of that film, and perhaps a group of characters that we haven't really focused on that much in recent film versions, or even a number of them, Helwig said. It's a creative reset completely and going back to the original film as opposed to spinning out any of the more recent film adaptations. Okay, there is a lot to unpack there. I really like the idea of this being its own story, its own timeline. This is kind of a fresh start for the franchise, and that's exciting, but that's also kind of scary too, and it makes it more ambiguous when we're trying to kind of figure out and contemplate, like, what is this going to look like? We've never had a Halloween TV series before. This kind of thing has never really been done before, especially for a slasher villain like this. So what is this going to look like? What parts of the original film are we going to expand on? And there's a lot of questions involved in that. We have no idea where they're going to take the opening of this universe, the beginning of this story. Where are we going to begin, and where is season 1 going to end? So to me, all of this comes down to 3 main questions. Number 1, what is the focus? Will season 1 of this series tackle the events of the original 1978 film? Will we begin and end in the same places with Michael killing Judith and then with Loomis shooting him off of the balcony and realizing that he's gone? Is it going to tackle that same chain of events, just kind of embellished and stretched out over the course of a season? Are we going to take the Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 approach, where it's, it's like 2 or 3 days worth of material spanned out over the course of a season? Is this going to be something else entirely? Is it going to be a Dr. Loomis series? Are we going to do the prequel route where we see Michael kill Judith and we see his trial, we see him taken to Smith's Grove, meeting Dr. Loomis. We get to dive into Dr. Loomis's psyche as he's trying to deal with Michael and treat him, and then finally coming to the realization, okay, there's nothing left. He's purely and simply evil. There's nothing more I can do for him. What is the focus of this first season going to be? Because again, if you're building a universe off of this, you have to leave somewhere to go. There has to be an end goal. You have to be going somewhere. So I question, where are we going to begin and where are we going to end? Number 2, who is your lead? Are we really going to tell the same exact story with Laurie Strode that we've done again? Now, I'm not at all saying that Laurie Strode cannot be a part of the series. I want Laurie Strode to be a part of the series. She's an important part of the franchise, and she's an important part of that story. And the way this is described in the article, if they're really going back and using the characters from the original 1978 film, I would assume Laurie will be a big part of the story. But should we focus on her? Or should she be more of a supporting character in this franchise? I think personally Loomis should be the focus of it. Tell the story from Loomis's perspective. You can have Laurie, you can have Annie, you can have Linda, you can have Brackett. You know, you can have these other characters that we explore, but Loomis should be the driving force behind this series. Now, in season 2 or in the movie, if you want to go back and embellish Laurie's character and explore her character and make her more of an integral part of the story, sure, go ahead and do that. I think that's entirely appropriate. But to start off, do we really want to tell the Halloween story from Laurie Strode's perspective again? Or do we want to take a step back, still include her in the story, but tell it from a different perspective. Tell it from Loomis's perspective. Get inside of his head and his fears and anxieties and what he's thinking. Oh my God, he's out here. He's escaped. He's wandering around the streets with people. You know, I think that diving into that, Loomis's mindset in the original film, that's where they need to go in terms of our main character and our focus on who is the lead of this series. And then number 3, what is the timeline? The fact that they're implying that this universe could span both television and film tells me that they have some kind of timeline in mind, similarly to what Marvel Studios did with the MCU stuff. There is a clear vision, there is a clear path for where things are headed. Now you embellish stories and you tell things, obviously. You expand on things, you expand on characters, not to the point of what Marvel is doing. I'm not saying we go that hard. That's too much. But that tells me that, okay, A, are we saving the big chapters for the films? Like how exactly is this going to be set up? What is the timeline going to be? Are we going to take season 1 and tell the 78 story? Or is season 1 going to be kind of a character story? Is it going to be a deep dive into Loomis and into Michael? And then are we going to save the film to actually tell the Halloween 1978 Halloween 2 duo story? You know, where are we going to go past that? Are we going to just have Michael on random killing sprees every Halloween in random places? Are we going to keep this a Loomis, Laurie, Michael central storyline, kind of like what Rob Zombie did, or kind of like what the Blumhouse trilogy did? Like, where is this going to go? What is the timeline of this going to be? Again, where are we going to begin? Where are we going to end season 1? And then where are we going to pick up from there? Because that is kind of the big question for me right now, and the thing that I'm most excited to know. Not necessarily, you know, casting choices or creative choices. I want to know, where is this going to take place? Is this going to be a deep character-driven story, or is this going to be a rehashing, a retelling, a reimagining of the Halloween 1978 story? And only time will tell. Look, there are many questions that this update raises, and we will be live tomorrow night, or tonight, I guess, if you're watching on Saturday, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on episode number 121 of Let's Talk Movies, to really dive into this a little bit more, to discuss our thoughts and our ideas on where this could go. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to just hang out with you guys and talk some Halloween. So I'll make it really, really easy for you. I'm going to leave the link to that show in the description. So please check out that link. Hit the subscribe button, like it, do the thing, set the reminder, all of that crap, so that you'll be notified when we go live and you can join us for that live show. Again, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing. We've got 3 shows here at Let's Talk Movies. The Let's Talk Movies podcast, Purely and Simply Evil, where we take deep dives into horror classics. Classics Revisited, where we do watch-alongs of our favorite classic films. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at LTM Podcast KY. We love you. Have an awesome rest of your night. And we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for the live show. See ya. Peace.